Good day, viewers. Welcome to the Unique Show. This is your host, Dr. Akudo Ehirim. And for today's topic, we're going to be dealing with prevention and solution to domestic violence. And in the studio today with me is Dr. Ijama Opara.
Welcome to the Unique Show.
Dr. Uzo Onukuwa.
You're welcome to the Unique Show. I'm glad to be here.
Guys, we have been dealing with domestic violence. This is an epidemic in our society, and we've been talking about it for the past 6 episodes. Today, we are here to conclude this topic, domestic violence. We are concluding the topic on the Unique Show, but we are not stopping this movement. This is a movement to say no to domestic violence and no to abuse in general. In the previous shows, we have talked about the causes of domestic violence. We have talked about what to do and what to look for in a domestic violence relationship. We have talked about ways to communicate to others. You cannot keep quiet in a domestic violence relationship. We have talked about domestic violence being a crime of secrets. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody is ashamed. And because we are ashamed to talk about it, that's why domestic violence is getting on, is now spreading like a sickness in our society. Domestic violence knows no race, no geographical location, is everywhere. Even in churches, there is domestic violence in churches. But the issue is that people cover it up. Nobody wants to talk about it. But we are going to talk about it. We will keep talking about it until everybody stands up and say no to domestic violence. We say no to our sisters being killed. We say no to our brothers being killed. Domestic violence is not one-sided. Although 80% of the crime is committed against women, men are also in domestic violence relationship, yes, but they are the minority. And most of the time, because of the way the society is, no man wants to stand up and say, hey, my wife beats on me. So they keep quiet. But domestic violence is there. And today we're going to talk about, first of all, we'll start with the prevention. Guys, audience out there, you are in a relationship. You are seeing the signs. You are seeing the signs that this guy is or this woman is going to lose control. What are the signs? What do you see to tell you, take a step back, give yourself time out, and check the relationship again? Remember, love is blind, but marriage is the eye-opener. You might pretend you are not seeing it right now, but the man or the woman is not going to change. Rather, he becomes more comfortable and can do more to you. Say no to it right now before you get into marriage, so that you don't have to say no to it while you are in a relationship. Now, let's start with you, Dr. Ijama Opara. Give us some of the signs. What do you see to know that, hey, I'm heading through that road of domestic violence?
When you are in a relationship with someone, yes, you are in love. Like you said, marriage is sustained by more than love. There are different things that come into a relationship of marriage that can sustain that marriage. Because of that, there are certain things you need to be looking out for. Mm-hmm. If you are with someone who is always losing their temper, something is not right with that picture.
Okay.
If you're with someone who is always frustrated at the slightest,
so that's irritability. They are always irritated.
Always irritated with whatever is going on around them. Mm-hmm. They can't sit put. They can't tolerate any kind of... if something doesn't go right, mm-hmm, they're already jumping on you, talking down on you, screaming at you. Even if they don't scream at you, they're already withdrawn. Mm-hmm. They're not speaking to you anymore. Those are classic signs of that something may go down the drain, mm-hmm, in the long run if you don't check it right now. Mm-hmm. That's a sign that it could be leading into a domestic relationship.
Okay, so that is irritability. Also, give us one of the signs you think people can see and they will know, hey, something is not right.
Well, first of all, when you look at the person puts you down, criticizes you.
So that's criticism.
Mm-hmm, does not see anything good in what you do, mm-hmm, or what you stand for, what you bring to the table. It's a big problem.
Okay.
And also, if little provocation, mm-hmm, and somebody loses it, mm-hmm, and he doesn't even want to listen or hear the truth, mm-hmm, it's a big problem. It's a telltale sign that down the road, this person may lose it.
Okay, so what I want you guys to say something about this. Some people talk about manipulation. What role does manipulation play in prevention? Dr. Opara?
I'm glad that you brought that up. Manipulation is one of the biggest tools that will tell you about that you're in an abusive relationship. But because of the way manipulation works sometimes, you may not understand that that is a true sign of domestic violence.
Okay.
Somebody is using manipulations, either threatening you or threatening to kill somebody that you love, or even if he's not threatening to kill you, but threatening to
even harm themselves,
commit suicide, harm themselves if you leave them. They're putting it on you, so that you are forever tied to the apron string that, oh, if I leave this person, he will die. He will not survive without me. But all that is not true. They will survive without you. It's a form of manipulation. They are trying to manipulate you into feeling guilty so that you do whatever they want. So that's how manipulation comes in. Manipulation also comes in little things. If you didn't do this, I wouldn't have reacted that way.
Exactly.
It was your fault.
Your fault.
Right. It was your fault that I reacted this way. It was because of what you did or what you said. If you had kept quiet at that function that we went to, I wouldn't have jumped on you. If you saw that my friends were there and didn't say a word, maybe they wouldn't even know that you were there. If you had stayed in your room when I asked you to stay in your room, that my friends are coming over, maybe I wouldn't have gotten angry with you. You are very stupid. I've been with you for years. You don't learn anything. You are very dumb. Trying to put you down. You're dumb. You can't assimilate anything. You don't know anything. These are forms of manipulation. Exactly. And some men, when they see that they can manipulate you that way, they know that women and children, a woman is very close to her child. What they will do is they will use certain tactics on your children to get you to do what they want. That is also a form of manipulation.
They might begin to pick on your children.
Pick on the children.
Abuse them. And as a mother, instead of them abusing your child, you take the abuse and let them leave your child alone.
And whatever it is that they say they want to do, and if that is what will make them leave your child alone, you go ahead and do it.
So that's
that's a manipulation. So manipulation is the biggest key. People always look at it as only physical. But manipulation is the big key of this domestic violence, because they use it to get what they want. Remember your definition.
Is that it's a repetitive pattern of behavior to maintain power
and control
over another person.
So they will do anything they can to maintain that power and control
over you.
That's where manipulation comes in.
Okay, Uzo, it's you. What do you
another thing is that let me come and retrieve back and say she might be approaching it from the point of view of a lawyer, a legal point of view. But in church, because most of us are Christians, I believe, we call it Jezebel Spirit. Jezebel Spirit involves manipulation, control, intimidation, and hype. It seems that the men use more of intimidation because they are the stronger sex, physically speaking. Children use more of manipulation, and women use more of control. This is from Christian perspective. But another thing again is that manipulation can also involve excuses. The man always make excuses for his behavior, never addressing the real issue of the problem.
Just like she said, yes, if you didn't do this, I wouldn't have done this.
Cover up.
Cover up.
So, and when you keep on covering things, that means that thing is still there. And anything you are doing is just superficial. It's just on the surface. People don't want to do. You know what I found out is that people don't really mature. They don't really grow. They only age. So personal development is very, very important if we have to prevent domestic violence, because people don't even know themselves. That's why they manipulate, they intimidate, they control, they use hype. In other words, to make you submit, it make you come under their authority, to make you weak, to make you vulnerable, so to speak. I think that is the biggest thing. So we have to understand that to prevent anything, we have to go right to the cause, because truly an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure.
Exactly. So audience, I hope you guys are listening. We talked about manipulation. That woman out there, that man out there, every time you get into it with your husband is, if you leave me, I'm going to kill myself. If you leave me, I'm going to kill you. I'll kill your mother. I'll kill your father. I will do this. I will do that. And because of that fear, you don't want somebody to kill a family member. You don't want somebody to hurt your child. So you say, okay, whatever you want to do, you do it. And you keep staying in that relationship. Guys, this is a telltale sign for you to do something about it. If this person is not going to get help, don't even get into that relationship with him. Because he's not going to get better. He's going to get worse. Unless he gets help, he's going to get worse. And just like Dr. Uzo said, manipulation goes hand in hand with intimidation. When they throw it out there and some women or some men refuse to be manipulated, then it turns into intimidation. Now they want to intimidate you. And they can do that by buying a gun. If you know your husband or your spouse or whoever already can't control their anger and they hit you all the time, and all of a sudden they come home one day with a gun, that's a sign right there. The next time he's going to kill you. He doesn't have to threaten you with it. All he has to do is put the gun on the table. And that tells you right there, hey, he's going to kill me. So please, 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 audience out there, I hope you guys are listening. Manipulation, intimidation, irritability, control. These are the signs that you are heading that road of domestic violence. And you can prevent it like Dr. Uzo said. If we can prevent it right now, let's prevent it than waiting to solve it when we have already entered into that relationship. Now let's talk about blaming.
And also, that's what I was going to go to.
Blaming.
And also, another form of manipulation that we didn't mention is withdrawal.
Okay.
When they have tried every overt act and it did not work, the next thing is to keep quiet. Don't talk to you.
Keep malice.
Yes, keep malice. Don't talk to you. Don't speak to you until they get their way.
Exactly.
So that is also that part of manipulation.
And intimidation.
And intimidation. Because this one, they're not threatening you, but it's what they call passive. It's not as active as the other one. Now it's passive. They are using the not speaking to you, making the house uncomfortable for you while they are not speaking to you, ignoring you pretty much in your home. That's a way to try to get you to do what they want so they can have control over you. So that's where that part of manipulation also comes in.
And also, do you have anything to say about blaming? This blame game they do. It's your fault, it's your this, and then they withdraw. What do you have to say about withdrawal?
Well, it's the same principle here at play. Because when somebody withdraws, it's a game.
Exactly.
And why do the person withdraw or remain incommunicado? Because they want you to come back to beg. They want you to come back to say, okay, honey, I'm sorry. And then, you know, so that you can come back under the mechanism of control. And people also use defense mechanism, trying to project what, you know, people criticize in others. They trust, they fear in themselves.
That is correct.
So,
Dr. Uzo, please, I want you to repeat that for our audience. What you just said, repeat that again. People criticizing others.
Yes, what they threat or characteristics they fear in themselves.
That's correct.
They tend to project it to others. And it's a kind of defense mechanism. And when somebody is defending, like I said, something is there that needs to be dealt with subconsciously. But unfortunately, people don't want to deal with real issue. People don't want the truth. And you know, one of the things the former president, or rather prime minister of Britain said, he said people stumble at the truth and rise up and walk away as if nothing happened.
Exactly.
And because of that, we have to face the truth about ourselves and about our character, about our, you know, behavior. And
about who we are.
And also, prevention always starts with the mindset.
Exactly.
In awareness. Because if you don't have the mindset, if you don't even know, some people don't even know themselves.
Exactly.
And it's a problem.
And that's the denial.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of people live in denial.
Yes. And denial is a very powerful defense mechanism, because when you deny something,
it doesn't
it does exactly. And then because you deny it, is there, but you don't want to deal with it.
You don't want to deal with it. So you push it.
You push it aside and sweep it under the rug. And anything you sweep under the rug, you cannot solve. In fact, you can never solve or any issue, any problem you didn't confront, you never solve.
And if you sweep it under the rug, what you keep forgetting is that under the rug is not trash. It's still there.
Yeah, it's just that you can't see
right there, but it's still under there.
Exactly. All right, audience, we just talked about withdrawal. Some of our homes, especially in some of our African homes in diaspora, the man or the woman wants to get his or her way. And when they don't get their way, they keep malice. And whether we like it or not, audience, I am talking to my African brothers and sisters out there. We are in a society where we don't have family members. You, your husband, and your children, that's all you got.
In most situations.
That's all you got. So when you live in a home, out there at work, we are stressed. Out there on the streets driving, we are stressed. And after all this stress, you come back home and you are stressed in your home because either one partner is keeping malice or withdrawn from the other person. Domestic violence is bound to happen.
Of course.
Because after holding on to it for a little while, you will burst.
It's gonna blow over.
It's gonna burst open. So guys, keeping malice, not talking to your wife in a week's time, a month's time, sometimes 6 months, 7 months. Some husbands and wives don't talk to each other for a year. Except monosyllables. What do you have for dinner? Where take the children to football. This is not a healthy relationship.
At all.
That relationship is bound to end in domestic violence. Guys, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.